The truth behind the pharmacy doors. I'm standing outside a pharmacy on Sukhumvit Soi 7. In just 10 minutes, I've seen 3 different tourists walk out with paper bags full of testosterone, trenbolone, and who knows what else. It's not unusual. In Thailand, this is daily life. Muscled-up foreigners pouring into certain pharmacies, walking out with enough anabolic gear to supply a small gym. But here's the wild part. Nobody talks about what's really happening. You won't see this on travel vlogs. You won't hear it from influencers. Today, I'm going deep into Thailand's underground steroid economy. The legal loopholes, the scams, the shocking prices, and the consequences no one warns you about. And listen, if you think you know how this works, wait until the final chapter. There's a dark twist that even longtime expats don't see coming. Chapter 1. The Legal Illusion. Let's start with what confuses people the most. Legality. Officially, steroids in Thailand are classified as controlled substances. You need a prescription. That's the law. But walk 2 blocks in central Bangkok and you'll see the truth. Pharmacies sell testosterone like candy. No questions, no paperwork, no shame. Here's the technicality that makes this possible. While steroids are classified as dangerous drugs, they're not considered narcotics. That means they can be dispensed by a pharmacist, without a doctor involved. And the penalty for selling without a script? A fine of 1,000 to 5,000 baht. That's $30 to $150. Now consider this. A single sale to a tourist can bring in 3,000 baht in profit. One pharmacy owner even told me, the fine is just part of doing business. The FDA knows it. The cops know it. It's an open secret. Just don't be loud. Don't make trouble. And everyone plays along. But here's where most tourists get it wrong. Buying it might seem easy, but possessing it, using it, or taking it back home, that's where things get dangerous. Just because it's on the shelf doesn't mean it's legal for you. And that confusion? It's what gets people into serious trouble. Chapter 2. Pharmacies, the Hidden Tiers. Not all pharmacies are created equal. If you think they all operate the same way, you're in for a surprise. There's a hierarchy, a system, and knowing which one you're walking into can mean the difference between getting what you came for or walking into a trap. Level 1. The Tourist Traps. You'll find these around Sukhumvit Soi 4, Soi 7, near Nana. They're flashy, open, and almost proud of what they sell. No script? No problem. Just point at a box, pay double or triple the real price, and walk out with your souvenirs. I've even seen places offer laminated menus with prices for testosterone, tren, anavar, you name it. It's basically fast food, but for steroids. Level 2. The Script Shops. These are the ones that want to look legit. They'll ask for a prescription, then conveniently mention a clinic upstairs or next door. For 500 baht, a doctor will ask you, "What do you want?" and scribble it down. No exam, no history, in and out in 5 minutes. It's theater, just enough plausible deniability if things ever go sideways. Level 3. The Legit Locals. Step away from the tourist zones and you'll find real pharmacies. These places follow the rules. No script, no deal. They'll turn you away without making eye contact. Don't argue. Don't cause a scene. You're not entitled to their products, and trying to intimidate or bribe your way through only proves you don't belong here. Level 4. The Underground. Now we're in the deep end. Private dealers moving pharmaceutical-grade gear from condos. Orders placed through line groups. Packages delivered like takeout. The pros. Better prices, better selection. The cons. Fake gear. Contaminated compounds. And zero protection if something goes wrong. This is where bodybuilders go when they're all in, and where casual users risk everything without realizing it. Up next, the jaw-dropping numbers that fuel Thailand's steroid obsession. Chapter 3. The Price Tag That Breaks Brains. Let's talk numbers, because this is where jaws hit the floor. This is the moment most tourists realize why Thailand has become a mecca for muscle-bound nomads. Testosterone enanthate? You'll pay around 800 to 1,200 baht here. That's $25 to $35 per 10 milliliter vial. In the US, Expect to cough up $200 to $400, if you can even get it legally. In the UK, it's anywhere from $150 to $300, and that's just the beginning. Anavar, popular among cutting cycles and beginners, is 1,500 to 2,500 baht in Thailand. That's $45 to $75 for 100 tablets. Western prices? Anywhere from $200 to $500. Human growth hormone, HGH? Around 8,000 to 12,000 baht here, or $250 to $350. In the West, you're talking $1,000 to $2,000, minimum. One Australian bodybuilder I spoke to showed me his receipts. He spent $3,000 on gear in Thailand that would have cost him $15,000 back home. His words. The flight pays for itself 10 times over. But here's what most tourists forget. The tourist tax. Those shiny Sukhumvit shops are charging 2x or 3x the local rate. That sustanon you just bought for 3,000 baht. A Thai national with a proper prescription gets it for 1,000, maybe less. And the quality? That's a gamble. Yes, you can find real pharmaceutical-grade gear, Organon, Bayer, the stuff doctors actually prescribe. But you can just as easily walk away with underdosed garbage, contaminated vials, or flat-out fakes. I met a guy who injected what he thought was testosterone for 2 straight months. Turns out, he was pinning nothing but oil. Coming up next, the place where gear isn't just sold, it's part of the local ecosystem. Welcome to Pattaya. Chapter 4, Pattaya, the steroid capital nobody talks about. If Bangkok is the supermarket for steroids, Pattaya is the wholesale warehouse. Here it's not about discretion, it's about volume. Walk down Soi Buakau 2nd Road, or just about anywhere in central Pattaya, and it's pharmacy after pharmacy. Some of them might as well hang a neon sign, steroids sold here, because that's exactly what's going on. Behind the counters, ripped, roided up staff. In the display cases, vials, tabs, PCT kits. And no, they're not hidden. I've seen pharmacies openly showcasing Anavar and Dianabol in the front window, like they're selling vitamins. Why Pattaya? Simple. It's Thailand's anything-goes city. The authorities? They've got bigger things to deal with than some Aussie buying Deca. The result? A steroid ecosystem that's normalized, thriving, and barely regulated. And here's the wild part. It's not just about availability, it's about competition. With so many pharmacies trying to outdo each other, I've seen stores throw in free PCT drugs, discounts for bulk orders, and even loyalty deals, like it's a smoothie bar. But it's also where the dark side becomes impossible to ignore. I've personally seen guys pinning insulin in gym bathrooms. I've watched dudes pop oral stacks like candy, mix 4 or 5 compounds at once, and chase cycles without the faintest clue what they're doing. There's no guidance, no blood work, no coaching, just cheap access and 0 breaks. And when there's nothing stopping you, some guys just go too far. I've met expats who've been on gear nonstop for 5 years. Some look like comic book heroes. Others look like they're falling apart inside. This isn't just a fitness trend. It's become a destination lifestyle. And in the next chapter, I'll take you deeper into the world of gear tourism, where flights, cycles, and gym life come packaged together like a wellness retreat gone rogue. Chapter 5. The Gear Tourism Industry. Bulk, blast, board a plane. You thought this was just a few gym bros stretching their cycle during vacation. Think again. What's happening in Thailand isn't random. It's a full-blown industry. A subculture of men flying thousands of miles, not for temples or beaches, but for testosterone, HGH, and a blasting phase under palm trees. Welcome to gear tourism, a growing underground movement where guys from the US, UK, Australia, and beyond plan their entire 3-month vacation around one thing: performance enhancement. There are dedicated forums, spreadsheets, Discord servers, and private Facebook groups where men share strategies: how to time your blood work, how to stack without crashing, what to bring for PCT, which clinics won't ask questions, and even how to smuggle gear home safely. And the gyms, complicit. I've spoken with trainers in Pattaya and Bangkok who estimate 70% of their foreign clients are on something, and they're not hiding it. Between sets, they're swapping stories about sources, showing off injection sites, comparing dosages like they're talking about protein shakes. New arrivals land in Suvarnabhumi, and by the end of the week they're already on tren. It's not just 22-year-old bodybuilders either. The real wave? Men in their 40s, 50s, even 60s. Professionals, entrepreneurs, retirees. Back home, they've spent years fighting doctors just to get a low-dose TRT script. In Thailand, you walk into a clinic, say, "I feel tired," and 20 minutes later you're holding a prescription. Cost? Maybe $50 a month. Some of them use it responsibly, others, not so much. It starts with 100 milligram per week, then 200. Then why not stack a little Anavar? Then Tren. Then DNP. And suddenly a guy who just wanted to feel 10 years younger is mixing compounds like he's prepping for Mr. Olympia. But this chapter doesn't end in Pattaya or Bangkok. In the next one, we talk about what happens when they take this lifestyle home. And trust me, this is where it gets seriously dangerous. Chapter 6. The risks no one talks about. Fake gear, hidden damage, and deadly decisions. Here's the ugly side of steroid tourism, and it's not just about legality. It's about health. Real, irreversible damage. I've met guys who thought they were cycling responsibly, only to find out months later they were injecting straight-up cooking oil. One guy told me he felt off for weeks until blood work confirmed 0 testosterone levels. What he thought was legit test, completely bunk. And that's just the start. In Pattaya gyms, I've seen foreigners pinning insulin in bathroom stalls, popping random orals handed out like candy, stacking compounds with 0 supervision. Nobody's guiding them. There's no coach, no doctor, just blind trust in whatever the guy at the gym or the pharmacy says. Some bounce back, others don't. One expat suffered a heart attack at 28. Another developed deep vein thrombosis that nearly killed him. A third? His liver enzymes were so elevated he had to fly home for emergency care. Thai nurses see this often. Young, muscular foreigners coming in with sky-high blood pressure, failing kidneys, collapsing livers. And what do they say every time? I didn't think it could happen to me. Because here's the thing. When it's cheap, available, and no one says no, people lose their sense of danger. They chase progress like there's no tomorrow, until there isn't one. It's not always the guy pushing 600 milliliters a week. Sometimes it's the quiet one, cruising at 150, but using fake gear that's contaminated, underdosed, or toxic. And then comes the worst move of all, trying to take it home. Sneaking vials into checked bags, hiding them in protein tubs, even taping them inside underwear. I've heard it all, seen some pull it off. But I've also heard the horror stories. Guys caught at customs with gear in their bags, suddenly facing $100,000 fines and prison time. You think it's rare? It's not. It just doesn't get posted on the forums when things go wrong. And the ones who don't get caught? They often come back thinking they've mastered the system, but they're not smarter. They're just lucky. Chapter 7. The real cost. The body count behind the bargain. Let me tell you about ZYZ's. Real name, Aziz Shavershian. Australian fitness icon. Instagram legend. Shredded, charismatic, living the dream. He came to Thailand to party, to train, to live loud. He never left. Found dead in a Pattaya sauna at 22 years old. Cause? Heart attack. His brother, arrested for steroid possession just days earlier. That's not a cautionary tale. That's a headline. That's real. And it's not an isolated case. I personally know 3 guys, yes, personally, who ended up hospitalized here. One dropped in the gym mid-set. Heart attack, age 28. Another was rushed to ER after a clot in his leg nearly reached his lungs. A third was hospitalized with liver failure, yellow skin, shaking hands, praying for a second chance. These aren't horror stories from forums. These are men I've seen, spoken to, trained beside. Hospitals in Bangkok and Pattaya see this all the time. Thai nurses have told me, dozens of times, about foreigners coming in with BP through the roof, organs failing, red blood cells out of control, and all of them say the same thing. I didn't think it would happen to me. Why? Because no one told them what gear really is. Not influencers, not gym bros, definitely not the guy behind the pharmacy counter. No one says, hey, this isn't just a shortcut. It's a risk-reward game where the price might be your life. Because in Thailand, it's too easy, too cheap, too quiet. No gatekeepers, no second opinions. Just, here you go, bro. And off you go to pin in your condo like it's pre-workout. You can walk in with $300 and walk out with months of cycles, but what you walk into next might be a hospital bed, a customs holding cell, or a life you didn't sign up for. The worst part? It's preventable. A little education, a little blood work, a little humility, and maybe you don't become another silent statistic in Thailand's growing steroid shadow. The part no one tells you. Look, I'm not your dad. I'm not your coach. I'm just the guy pulling back the curtain on the stuff no one else wants to say out loud. Thailand has become the global capital of easy access performance enhancers, and that's not changing anytime soon. But easy doesn't mean safe, cheap doesn't mean smart, and just because you can, doesn't mean you should. If you're coming here for TRT, a cycle, or just out of curiosity, be smarter than the average tourist. Do your blood work, know your limits, ask questions, respect the risks, and most importantly, understand the culture, the laws, and the line you don't want to cross. Because here's the brutal truth. The best-looking guys in the gym, they're not always the healthiest. The loudest influencers, not always the most honest. And the cheapest vial might end up being the most expensive decision you ever make. What surprised you the most? Drop a comment, I read everyone. Subscribe and turn on notifications. In the next video, we're diving even deeper, exposing the clinics pushing TRT that's anything but therapeutic. This is no filter travel, not the filtered dream, the real story, raw and unfiltered. Until next time, stay sharp, stay safe, and remember, the line between enhancement and destruction, it's thinner than you think. Peace.